Hey, one and all, how goes it? It's your pal Dave with a weekly update from the job site, home. I'm going to try and do these weekly. Try and do them on a regular basis on Sunday. Because I say it out loud, it holds me accountable. I've gone for some periods where I hadn't done updates and I kind of was like, there hadn't been that much that happened, but there was enough. There was enough to do, 10, 15-minute video on a quick update. But this last week has been really good. A little on the slow side. We didn't have all of the guys here the whole time. Eduardo, who's been working on the electrical, he had a job that he had promised to get done months ago, and it had come up this last week, so he was off doing that. But he'd still gotten some good progress done. Not in this unit where I'm standing here. I'll swing around so you guys can see, but I wanted to start with that view because it's such a gorgeous day. August 31st, Sunday. It was 56 years ago on this day that the good Lord graced all of you guys with my presence. That's my subtle way of saying it's my birthday. I'm 56 today. How about that? A lot of times around the earth, around the sun. But it's all good. I kind of feel like age is just a number as long as you're taking good care of yourself like I'm trying to. So I'm good with that. Going to go out with some buddies tonight and shoot a little bit of pool. Nothing crazy, but wanted to do a quick video for you. So let me swing around so you guys can see what's been happening. All right, so I am in the very first cabina, the one that probably has the least amount done. My supervisors followed me up here to make sure I was going to do a good video for you guys. This is probably going to end up being the most popular one because obviously of this incredible view right from your landing. At one point where you can see those cutouts there where dude's just walking by, that was going to be the foundation of the main house, which is going to stick up kind of high and block the view in this direction, but I'm not going to do that anymore. We're going to do more of a garden with like a big open ramada on that far side and then some platforms to do glamping. You guys all know that if you've watched any of my other videos. And then over there where you see that little bodega, we'll build an apartment for me. Right now I'm living in the one cabina here that's finished. I got 3 of them. This is the one that's least finished. And then I'll walk you over there. But real quick, I had decided that because of the fact that I wasn't going to do a main house right there, that I would put a window right here. There hadn't been a window in this wall, which, I mean, honestly now, what a shame would that have been to not have a window right there, especially now that the structures that we build are going to be low enough that you still get a great view from this window. So cool, huh? Not something that we're going to do right away, but I had another idea. I would like to do a little bit of a deck right here. Doesn't have to come out very far, just about to the edge of the scaffolding, maybe a little bit farther over the septic pit, but a place where just for this one unit, you'd come up here to the landing where you'd come around the corner and come into the unit, but you could also turn here. We'd open this up so that then you would walk out onto a deck right here. I mean, wouldn't that just be amazing? Just no spot in these units where you're not just getting an incredible view. And then, of course, you still get the view from here. This is where, we'll do like a couch. I was thinking like a love seat and then a recliner. Somebody had said something about doing like a hideaway bed, like a sofa bed. I've always found those things really uncomfortable, but air beds are surprisingly comfortable. So I think I'd be more inclined to do a high-end air bed if we needed to have a space for other people to sleep. Same layout as mine. Bed goes there. You got your kitchen here. Again, just epic views from everywhere. Little kitchenette. Fridge goes there. Little balcony right here. Just a spot to step out and get a little bit of fresh air from this corner. This used to be a staircase going up to what was going to be a rooftop deck, but long story short, it really wasn't engineered right. So no rooftop deck. But we had already built this landing, and so I thought that would be a shame to just delete it. On the first one, where I'm living right now, just kind of up over there, eventually the landing is going to be a bit more of a substantial deck. It'll go over the top of where you see that cinder block wall there, kind of on the right. That's going to be a utility room, washer, dryer, and stuff like that. So it comes right up to the same level as the landing on that unit. So my thought was it would be really easy to put a more proper deck on that one. You know, they all get their own little unique flares, so they're not all exactly the same. But this one here, this is just big enough to step out here and, you know, get some breeze from this side. Just kind of a cool little feature, you know, a way to make some lemonade out of lemons. You know, we'd already built this landing for the staircase. Let's not have it go to waste. And then if you can see the upper landing there, we left that too, because that's a perfect spot to put the air conditioner unit, which is what we did on all the others. One thing that's a little bit unique about this one is the bathroom, just because it has the corner here. I wanted to do a corner shower, so this is a little bit different than the others. There's not this wall. There's not this wall right here on the others. So anyway, let's go for a walk down. Come on, guys, let's go. Go on down, babe. You got it. Go on, sweetie. She's getting a little old. You take your time. I'm right behind you. Go on. You're good. You're good. Doing great, baby. Go on. You want me to go first? Huh? All right. All right. Try not to look at the mess. Just look at the view. Look at the potential. We'll get all this cleaned up when the construction's done. We're probably still a month out or so. But we'll get this all looking super pretty and clean up all these dirt piles. Actually, the guys were starting to cut back some of the trees the other day, and it was just making an incredible difference. And they started to work on prepping the pools. So the pool construction is probably going to get started here at some point next week. But they started cutting back some of the big trees in here, and don't be angry, these trees grow super fast, and they'll actually grow right back up from a lot of their stumps. So we just kind of gave it a haircut. But I'd really like to get some fruit and nut trees planted in there too. So we'll thin some trees out just so that we can plant some others, and then we'll do a little pathway all the way down to the bottom there where there's a creek. Be kind of a cool thing to be able to offer to guests, to have a little orchard path that you can take down through the jungle down to a creek, and maybe if there's enough space at the creek, a little place where you can kind of create a spot to sit and dunk your feet in the water or something like that. It's fun to dream. We'll see what really happens. Let's pop up here real quick. We can do this right now, but in the future we're going to have privacy fences, you know, just right along there, and then you can stay down there, babe. You don't need to come up here. She's like, that's good with me. We'll make sure that the privacy fence, like, cuts over, how would I say that, over to the side of the house, so that as I'm coming up the stairs here, I can't see right down into my neighbor's pool. Babe, stay, don't come up here. Oh, she can do what she wants, but I know you're getting old. Just a sec. Oh, interesting. I think this is for leveling. I think this is for doing the ceramic, for doing the tiles. Sorry, I can't think and speak at the same time. This is all new, so this has definitely got something to do with making sure that everything's even. Wow, I mean, some of these are really high. I didn't really realize that we were going to need to come up that high. Well, that's interesting. Now I'm glad that we're doing a different thing with the electrical. We're actually going to put the electrical, it's going to go up above this ceiling and then drop down so that we don't lose more height with electrical boxes and stuff like that. Yeah, that's why we popped this hole in here so that we can do the electrical from above. Oh man, these bees are already making this. I thought we'd gotten rid of this thing, but apparently not entirely, because they're still hanging in there. They're really like mellow bees. They don't sting, but we don't want them making a home in here. Take care of that later. So anyway, yeah, I'm curious about these big old hunks of cement, if that means that that's as high as the floor is going to be, because that's kind of high. Oh, babe, you came up anyway. You don't want to be left alone. It's okay. So they got the landing in on this one, and kind of rough in on some of the kitchen stuff. All right. Oh, what a view, huh? You want to come stay? Not a bad place to come hang out. Now, in the short term, you'll be stuck with me and the dogs living next door, but I guess there are worse things that could happen. Oh, so much material under here, so much expense, so much money, but it's all good. This is some of the electrical stuff that's going to get installed here in the next couple days, all ready to go. But if you didn't watch my last video, we were having some problems with getting the electricity run from the electric company. They were saying that the pole that I had, this one right here, was too far, and it was way over here, and they're only allowed to go a maximum of 40 meters. So we ended up having to move the pole up onto my neighbor's property, which was very kind of them to let us do that, but it's not affecting their view or anything like that, and painted it green, so it's not so bad. Look at what a nice job these guys have done getting all of this done, all of this finish work done. They're working on getting this finish work done. These were just kind of ugly cinder block walls, you know, just noticing all the little things that they've gotten done over the week. Some things aren't quite as visible, but now the electrical is going to go to that pole there, and then it'll string across over here. And then from that point, we've got everything kind of wired on this part and ready to go. And we've got a trench that goes underneath here into this house here. And then we've got a trench that comes all the way along here, and it cuts over right there for that one, and then down there, right there for that one. And then I think also this next week, we're going to start to get the electricity around this backside. And the reason for that is to access the pool houses, or I'm sorry, the pump houses for the pools. These are just storage tanks. But each one of the pools has got its own little pump house right here, as you can see. So we'll string electricity along here, and then when we do get to phase 2 and we start working on that other portion of the project, we'll have the electricity coming in from the backside, coming in from this. I'm calling this the backside right here, as opposed to continuing to have it go down that fence line in front of the driveway and all that stuff. So that's it, my friends. There's an update for you. August 31st, 2025. Should be a national holiday, right? Oh, Lordy, this project has just been a beast. But I feel like we're getting there. I feel like the end is in sight. We're making great progress. So I'm going to grab the doggies and go into Hako and get some Taco Bell. They just opened a Taco Bell, and it's my birthday. And I need a Mexican pizza and nachos Bel Grande, and hopefully not a case of diarrhea afterwards. All right, my friends, on that note, thank you so much for listening and your time. Love you guys. See you later.